Welcome to the Let Theta Healing Inspire You series, where I interview a different Theta Healer instructor every month. My name is Cornelia Thomi, a certificate of Science Thetahealer and nature conduit who allows clients to deepen their connection to nature and their inner child through the oneness connection of the Creator. I would like you to meet a friend of mine who I met in Switzerland in March, but many times online. Her name is Johanna Clausen-Meixner. Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's a complicated name. Just a Johanna is fine.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Johanna is a Theta Healer Master with the Certificate of Science, a graduate in Communication Studies, a communication coach and trainer, and a Reiki Master. She is the mother of an adult daughter and an adult son, lives in Hamburg, Germany, and was born in Lauchbach, Hesse. She is the founder of Inspiration, where she brings together communication, creativity, energetic healing, and personal development. Creativity and a wide range of perspectives are at the heart of her work. For more than 30 years, she has taught and guided people in the fields of communication, verbal communication, and communication design. She has worked in higher education and educational contexts, led workshops, worked with students, clients, entrepreneurs, leaders, teams, and large companies. In her work, she combines theta healing, energetic healing, and deep communication expertise in a clear and effective way. She supports private clients in personal development processes, especially around inner dialogue, clarity, and inner alignment. At the same time, she advises and supports entrepreneurs, decision makers, and companies in communicating their projects, offers, and values clearly, authentically, and successfully. She also works with animals, especially horses, reflecting her deep understanding of communication beyond words. Her intercultural experience also plays an essential role in her work. She supports people in different cultural contexts and with different perspectives on communication, impact, and relationships. Her engagement with sign language adds another dimension to this perspective and reflects her her understanding of expression, perception, and connection. She is the host of the podcast Communication Con, Communication Works. She is also co-author of the book The Power Lies in Change, which explores women's communications with their cycle in connection with the moon. Her own life story has shaped her work in a profound way. As a young woman, she was diagnosed with cancer and was advised to have her uterus removed. Even so, she chose to follow her own path of healing. Today, she is the mother of two healthy children. This experience has deeply strengthened her trust in healing, inner guidance, and transformation. In her private life, she feels deeply connected to the sea, nature, plants, animals, movement, and vitality. She has a tree house, which I'm excited by, loves horses, basketball, and singing. Communication continues to inspire her every single day within herself and through everything that surrounds her. So please help me to welcome Johanna to the series. How are you today, Johanna?
Thank you so much. I'm fine. I'm excited. And it's interesting to hear it out of your voice, like the whole story of my life in a short way. Yeah, beautiful. I'm fine. Thank you.
I was like, at one point there, I wanted to say something in German to you, and I was like, oh, no, let's keep this English, shall we?
It will come up in between. I'm sure about that.
Sure will. Um, so you have a really strong background in communication, and from an early age, did you know that that's what you were going to focus on was communication, or how did that come across or about?
Mm, I think if I look back now, I would say yes, but at that time when I was small, I was communicating with animals already, but I didn't really know that it was something special.
Hmm.
But that's what I realized with a lot of people, when we are small and we're just so, yeah, let's say safe, and part of all that is we are not asking a lot of questions. So that's something I found out, let's say later, that I did that before.
Hmm.
And I would say, of course, growing up in a family where you had to read a lot between the lines, it was important to learn a lot about communication. So it maybe came out of a struggle, or I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I think I did it always, and I'm always interested how people speak and how they act. So that's still the same today.
Hmm. Hmm. Amazing. Did you find when you were growing up in school and whatnot in Germany, did you find that that your connection to animals and all that was enhanced, or was that kind of pushed down?
I think it got pushed down, and right at that time or these days, I'm preparing some workshops for school because I think, yeah, it's a very, very important place to teach about communication.
Mhm.
And because you're not allowed to say a lot of things, you have a lot of, yeah, I feel very sorry sometimes for the kids what they have to go through, because they're able to do so many things, and you got the feeling after school
Yeah.
they lost a lot of abilities and stuff. So.
Mhm.
mm, I didn't like school. To be honest, it was a struggle for me. I tried to, yeah, I mean, I knew how to follow the rules, and I knew how to do it, let's say, or how they wanted me to be,
Mhm.
but it never felt right.
Mhm.
So I think it's also today, yeah, with the kids, it's so important to start a new conversation with them. And and by the way, I was wondering because I was, yeah, just thinking about a lot of grown-ups. They just forgot how it was when they were a child. And that's so weird for me because, I mean, if you're a job and you have a job and then you get the next one or the better one, you always take with you what you've learned. But it seems like sometimes if you become a parent, you forgot about everything.
Yeah.
So all the things you experience in your life, and that's also about communication, all these harming words and all these unkind things. Yeah, I think there's a lot to do from the grown-up people to the children to be more open and to be more loving and to use kind words and all these things.
Mhm. Mhm. I
Yeah,
just like
that's
mhm. I have to agree on that because I just went through like working in forestry for 20 years and working only with men basically, and then I was like, I got the guidance to do teaching or to go work more
yeah.
with children. And then there were so many beliefs that came up about working with children, with adults, being a teacher. And you really have to look at your own going to your own like childhood and how you grew up and all the beliefs that you were taught in school and clear. There's a lot of clearing to be done to be really able
Yeah.
to work with those age groups.
Yeah, and even I mean just to know what it's about. There are so many parents, and if you ask them, okay, what is it really about? It's not about the topic. There's a lot of fear coming up. So
Hmm.
who has to have the last word? Who has to have the power? And there's so much fear, and then there comes up a lot of pressure.
Hmm.
And then pressure always invites pressure. And in the end, there's no solution, just two people who don't understand each other.
Hmm.
And I mean, yeah, as you know, we can learn from each other the whole time if we are open enough. But to be honest, I had my children were my one of my best teachers, or were the best teachers. And I remember when I was really after a hard day with my son, I said, could you please hurry up with your stuff? And he told me, and I think he was 4, Mom, the way you are right now, does it really has to do something with me, or is it something what happened during the day?
Mm.
And of course, it was something during the day. I had some stuff in the job which got on my nerves. But then to be open enough to say, okay, thank you. You're right. Sorry for that. Let's change it. So I think we get a lot of hints,
Hmm.
and we have to work on our inner dialogue and being open for, okay, then let's do it another way. Or
Hmm.
stop it right away and do something else. Tell us another story. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you were doing working on building something for the schools. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking and like how open they are to this?
Yeah, it's a little bit funny because a client or a friend of mine, she's working in a school and she's also a theta healer and she's very, very open.
Hmm.
And she's pretty young and I know her for a long time and she was asking me some questions because she said, I don't understand how it's working here. How are they, why are they so unpolite? And there's a lot of criticism. And when I have these problems with children, what can I do? So there's a lot of pressure. And then we were just working on that. And I said, I would recommend to just open up and tell that child what's going on. This is also it's a hard situation. So how do we want to solve that together instead of, let's say, give restrictions or not allow things or you have to shut down. So I mean, you won't solve it in the end. And then she started to try some stuff. And I said, yeah, clear and cleanse the room before you get in there and find the position. Where are you going to be in that room? Because you're guiding them.
Hmm.
And there's also very often, I think, a misunderstanding from how to be a good leader. So we are very afraid to be, or we have, let's say, all this group conscious stuff about how is a leader, how is a teacher. And the strength to yeah, work on yourself and be open and also fail. And I also told her, sometimes we don't know what to do. That's fine.
Hmm.
So it's okay not to know what to do for a moment. That's completely right in my eyes, because then you can find a new solution, you can try something, you can be creative. And that's where it all started, because then we were working and I said, of course you can call me. And I can tell you how I did it with my kids. And it was not easy because I did a lot of unconventional stuff, of course. And this might be connected to my story, because I'm so grateful for my kids because I mean, it was not that easy to have them. So I'm maybe much more grateful, yeah, by that whole story.
Hmm.
So it's a a huge gift for me to experience that.
Hmm.
So it has a great value in my life, and that's why I, yeah, try to do my best. And I'm always questioning things, and that's what I did when I was small. If they say, "Yeah, you leave them in the room, they cry, it's not a problem," I thought that not does not feel right.
No.
So
Hmm.
why should we do that, right? Why should we tell them, "Don't do this, don't do this"? Do you feel that, or who's saying that?
Yeah.
And yeah, and then she was talking with her boss at that school, and she said, "Yeah, we have a lot of problems. We could talk to her." And that's what I'm doing right now. And I thought I would love to teach more about the inner dialogue because when we grow up, it's like, I mean, first of all, when we are small, we are speaking a lot with ourselves loud. Like when we these toddlers, when we say, okay, I take this glass now and I take a look at that glass and there's water in the glass. That's what they are saying. And later on, we're carrying that conversation inside of us.
Hmm.
And then a lot of people forget about that. They don't even realize that they're speaking to themselves, which was pretty weird to me because I'm speaking the whole time with myself. But then if you find out how much criticism is there and how much unkind things you say to yourself during the whole day, wow.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's where I would love to encourage them, and I would really love to open up and also tell the grown-ups and the teacher in a kind way. I think that's not the solution.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I think I step in there and there's another guy across the street. He's also at a school, and I thought, okay, Creator just told me call him. I'm going to call him the next days.
Hmm. Hmm. Bridging
Yeah.
in that, bringing that spiritual back into the classroom, bringing that intuition back into the system, basically.
Yeah, because I think, all the, let's say, the respect and reaction things, and where you say, yeah, well, you have to have respect, you have to, yeah, but where does it come from, right?
Hmm.
And if you also have these say, yeah, you have to say thank you. But if you don't feel a thank you and you have to say thank you, it's going to irritate your whole system for a long time.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna just build resentment.
Yeah, yeah. And it also disconnects you from your feelings, right? And this
Hmm.
is, I think this is a main thing what I found out with my clients, because I did a lot of how do you experience, or how did you experience your communication when you were a child, right? When there was nobody able to be grateful or to ask something in a kind way,
Yeah.
you think it does not exist.
Hmm.
So it's a key to find out that there's so much, we have so much options and so much, we can bring so much kindness with our words. Yeah, and that's what I enjoy every day.
Hmm. Can you tell us a little bit more about the experience with the doctor and why you chose to, what you chose to do around that?
Mm, yeah. I think it's also connected to communication, because when I had a lot of operations at that time, and I remember the first, let's say it was kind of a blink, or where I thought, okay, that's a new thing. I remember standing in front of my window. It was in Berlin at that time, and I thought, okay, this is my life. This is just my life. So whatever I will do, I can have it unwritten. So I can choose to write it by myself or to make my own decisions. But I can't change what has happened. But I have to decide, am I all in, or am I, let's say, moving on with suffering and giving all the responsibility to others? And this was, yeah, a kind of very clear moment for me, that I thought, okay, this is something I have to find another way. I'm not going to expect that this is going to happen. Let's say it like this. And I found, and at that time, I spoke with a lot of different people. I can't even, if I tell you what I did, I mean, I did everything from relationship coaching, from sweat lodges to family constellation, over name it, I did it. And I'm happy about that today, because I've learned a lot. And I remember I came to one doctor, and she was a kind of nature doctor. And I came in there and I said, yeah, I told her my story. And she said, oh, I have a friend he's just taking care of the dead people. I don't know what's the word in English. I don't even know the word in English.
Um, I don't, I'm more, something about moratorium or more to,
Yeah,
mortician or something like that. Yeah.
something. And she said, and he has like all these people on his table, and there's nobody who hasn't had a little bit cancer somewhere, first of all. And this was such a, I mean, this sentence, to say it's, let's say, normal. Oh, we were going to deal with that, made a huge difference for me. So it was just, it gave me back my power in a way. And I did a lot of different things to heal at that time. And I didn't even know if it would work at that time, but it did. And of course, it kind of opened up my whole path where I'm today. And I lost a lot of fear. This is also something I can say today. When clients come and they're really, really sick, or they're really sad, or a lot of accidents happen, I'm still in that trust and still in that feeling, okay, it can turn out good. That was just what happened. But it does say nothing about what's going to be tomorrow.
Amazing.
And that was a huge step for me. On one hand, having this gratitude, what still, of course, feel in my heart. And also looking back and thinking how much I fought through that. And I remember, doing diets. I don't know what I did. And I remember me in front of a pot of beans. And I was crying into these beans. And I thought, okay, this is my life now. I don't want that. But yeah, it worked out somehow.
So you were guided not to do the surgery, I take it.
I did, to be honest, I did a last surgery
Hmm.
and that healed it because before I really, it changed a lot, but in hospital they said it's impossible that it changed.
Mm,
Right. And it was, I did a lot of alternative stuff and I knew it changed and you could see the numbers were different.
yeah.
And they, I mean, they did the research, they saw the numbers and they told me that's impossible.
Mm,
And then, I mean, I was tired. It was a long, long walk. And then I said, okay, to maybe get aligned with everything, let's do one last operation and then it's all done. And maybe if I would have been a little bit tougher, I wouldn't have needed that. I would say that's what I would say today, right? But at
yeah.
that time, it was the right decision.
Yeah. Amazing. And did I I've just yeah, there's a part about the did you know that you were going to have children? Did you just like have the sense that you were meant to have children in this life and then
No, I think it didn't felt at that moment that's going to be the reason, right? So I'm going to fight because I want to have children and I know that it was not like that. It was more just, it just didn't feel right.
hmm hmm
And yeah, I think it also ended up in in the communication where you don't feel seen. They're doing their job and doctors do their job and a lot of them do it good and the best they can do, but very often it's very limited and it might not fit to your problem. So I think it's important to find somebody who hears you and where you can, let's say, commit and no matter what you do. And even if it's like a chemo or things happen that you say, okay, I'm going to choose that path. Um, and there's nothing wrong. That's what I think is the
hmm
most important thing. It's not about things being wrong or right. It's about finding your way to do it
yeah.
and have support. Yeah.
hmm And through this communication with your body, communication, have you found ways to to share this with other people? Like you wrote your book or your co did your book. Was this a driver to really blast off into what you were doing in your life?
That's interesting. I did it together with a friend of mine. She's a family therapist. And coming from concept development and coming from writing in the beginning of my communication career, um, I thought I'm always also looking for systems and structures because I think people sometimes need a structure or a system to have it easier.
Hmm.
And I think once you are ready to have this structure or the system, you're free you're ready to break free.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's doing a lot of sweat lodges, a lot of shamanic stuff, and she's wonderful. And I kind of brought the structure.
Mm,
So it was going hand in hand. So she also does women's circles and all these things. So we were doing stuff together. And I mean, it's years ago, right? So it's really a long time ago that I did this book, and now a lot of things come up, like that people are really taking care about when do they bleed and all this. I mean, it wasn't at that time, it wasn't like this.
hmm
And the funny thing for me was then it was finished, and I was really happy about because it's about, yeah, how do you connect with your body, with your feelings, and how do you communicate with that and have that planning of what is going because that's our normal thing, right? To go up and down and up and down and to be comfortable with that. And as soon as I understood everything, and I did a lot of research, like having the blood and giving it to my plants and all these things, to really did a research on what can I do with my blood. My kids were a little bit, oh, mom, this is going a bit too far. But I found out what kind of treasure that is, right? It's such an amazing treasure. I mean, and I really went into that really, really crazy and did a lot of research. And then I thought, okay, I got it. I'm fine. I know how it works. And what can I say? Then menopause started.
And your kids are like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, they're not only it's not only that when it depends when I'm into something it's I might be a little bit not overdoing it, but then I try it out and I want to know more and I do a lot of research and I ask people, so they are used to it from different things. I think so.
So you're basically geeking out on it.
Yeah,
Or they say
basically.
nerding out too in English too.
In the end, it opened them up. That's what I think.
And are they finding your children, are they finding that they figured out who they are in their life from like having you as a mother, or are they feeling like going back to some systems?
Mm, I think they are both very different, and I think they both found their way. And I think for them it was pretty good not to be in that, um, let's say, not to follow the system so strictly.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the beginning, I told my daughter, even before she started to bleed, I said, okay, as soon as you're in that, uh, if you're coming into your cycle, you have to have one day off at least. Right? You just don't have to go to school. If you don't feel right and in your power, don't do it. And then I did pretty early with them that they once or twice in a month they were allowed to say, I don't want to go today. I don't feel like going. And I mean, you can imagine that made a lot of people really angry around me when somebody heard that, said, they will never go again. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't allow it. In the end, they didn't need that day.
Yeah,
But I didn't want them to tell me that they are sick because they needed a day off, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
So I think, I mean, of course, they're all the kids, and even we have to struggle with the limitations of our parents. That's the way it is. But I mean, I always try to get some other people in or ask some friends or be open to something new.
Yeah.
So I would say it was an open house. I also did when they were small a little cycle with smudging, and then we were just sitting together with some kids and yeah, with some sage, and everybody could tell about what happened that day. And that came up for a while. So there were a lot of kids around there and just, let's say, participating. And so I did a lot of small alternative stuff, what I liked and what I think, yeah, was like a seed for some, hopefully.
That's amazing. How are you inspired to take theta healing, or how did you find out about theta healing?
It's a funny story. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of workshops, and at that time, I had a kind of agency about communication for clients, and I was also teaching at university. And then it came up to me that I thought, okay, these people who want to sell their business, who want to do their stuff, there is something underneath, and they tell you what they want, but they're not good at that, what they're telling you. They're better in other things. And then I said, okay, if I'm going to do something for you, like a brochure, like a web page, I need to have a workshop with you to find out who you are and to find out your values. And I mean, I did this, that's 15 years ago. Nobody talked about purpose at that time. So I was a little bit too early, probably. And I remember having one therapist, and she was working, I think, with kids, with families, but also with parents when their children died. And she came to me and said, "I want to have a brochure, but I don't want to do that with the kids anymore. I don't want to do that. I just want to do couples." And then we were starting that workshop, and I said, I'm sorry to say, but I mean, you think you can choose, but I think you're so good at that. The world needs it. But if you're having that process and you're speaking about what's inside of you, and I think that's so important. If you do communication outside, you have to be clear what's going on inside. And after that, she changed her program. She's just doing this now. She's very successful. Of course, she had to work a little bit on herself for not taking it too heavy. But that happened. And then after doing that for a while, I thought, okay, maybe, I'm just doing it like I imagine how I would do it. Maybe I should do some coaching or some seminars. And then I went somewhere here in Germany and they didn't want to take me because they said, yeah, but you're doing that already. I said, yeah, but I would like to share a little bit and to know how it's professional. That was my idea, that there is a professional way. But that didn't work out at all. And then I went to my dentist, and I have a wonderful dentist. She did theta healing, and she is working with angels, is also a healer. And I was there and I told her about, yeah, that they didn't take me. And she said, I know what you have to do. You have to go to theta healing. Go there. And she did with me the meditation, but I didn't get what she was doing. No idea what she did. And it was really, really weird for me in between two rooms. And I mean, but then after that, I said, okay, I'm going to do that. But inside of me, I thought, if I am going to book a session or read anything about it, I won't go there. And that's a problem from all the years I was writing. It's very hard for me to read something. And I thought, if I read something like, God is going to, I thought, okay, no, 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 this won't work in my life. This won't work for me, that there is a God and then we're going there and we're connecting. I don't think so. So I decided not to read anything and I just booked the basic DNA.
Yeah.
And I went there without knowing anything. I just went, I booked it, I paid it, I went there. And here I am.
That's
And
like
then, I
me.
mean, hmm?
I didn't know anything either, and I was like, all right, I'll just do it.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it was like in the beginning when I thought back up in my career about writing and all these things, you saw these huge billboards and you thought, wow, that sentence, I wrote that sentence. But then you see, I mean, you just say the right word or the right sentence, and somebody really starts to cry and let it all go. And I thought, okay, if my words can have that impact, I know where I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for me, it was so important that also Theta Healing has this structure and also that freestyle creative part and also that deep connection, which I had to work on for some years to really be really touched by them and be ready to receive.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling into the theta healing, and all the work that you've done in theta healing, how have you found that the knowing this tool, how has that really changed the projection of your life and what you're doing with your business and your clients?
I would say it changed my life completely. So a lot of things I had to fight for before, like to be in a good mood, to say it's going to be good, to always find the other perspective. It's not that hard anymore. I mean, I feel really like life is happening for me. I can choose, I'm creating it. And that gave back a lot of power to me. So things where I had to struggle maybe before, I think now, no, there is going to be another solution. So the things I loved so much about changing the perspective and finding new ways to see it, yeah, has now a real direction in a way, and a lot of that connection to my intuition, and I mean also to all the skills we have, right? Like all this clairvoyance and all this psychic abilities, which were normal. So it was a big, big relief for me to live that again,
Yeah.
to invite that again. And, without, "Ooh, let's close the door. I don't, please, no, 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 we're not going to do it that way." And now to open up and to say, okay, let's try it. We will see what's waiting there.
Hmm.
So that changed it completely. So I really enjoy life. And I mean, my daughter called me 2 weeks ago and she said, what I really learned from you to see things positive. And I know I'm not good as you, but I can all the time I think, okay, if this is going to be hard, not for me.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I thought, if it was just that, but to show people how beautiful life is and how much we have, and to change this focus onto all the abundance instead of what's always going wrong, that's huge for me.
Hmm. That is really amazing. Yeah. So I know I did an IA with you, or intuitive anatomy with you online, and I also just seen you in Switzerland for quantum jump class, which was really awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, because you have been taking your DNA 4, have you taken any instructor classes for DNA 4 or?
No, I
Okay.
haven't done DNA 4 yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. I misunderstood. I thought you had taken it with
That's the
Brian.
that's the next one, which is waiting.
Oh, okay. So do you know where you might be taking it or are you
No, not knowing yet.
not knowing
I
yet?
mean, it's still on my bucket list to go to Montana one day,
Yeah.
but I will wait. It will come up.
Okay. I was
It
gonna
always
say
comes up.
I was gonna say I'm actually hosting it at my house.
I saw it. I saw it. To be honest, I saw it.
And I was like, oh, Mackenzie's ready. Mackenzie's ready to bring in all this new energy and bringing all this new yeah, energy in. There's so much tourism happening here, and they're really opening up doors for people to
Yeah.
come here, and it's
When
still
is it? When are you hosting it?
October 28th till November 15th. But there's like a 4 days for one course and then a day off, and then 4 days for the next course and then a day off. And that's kind of the what I was guided to, so we can enjoy it as well and not just race
Hmm.
through courses.
Yeah. Okay, so sounds good. I've heard you.
Okay, awesome. So what have you used Theta Healing for?
Oh, a lot of different things. I mean, you mean for my life or for
For your
clients?
life, for your like what have you just as you become a Theta Healer, what have you used Theta Healing for that has really like that would inspire other people?
Oh, I did a lot of, for a while, I think 2, 3 years ago, I had a lot of sick people,
Hmm.
but I was a bit sick of having always sick people. So I changed a lot there. And I remember one client, and she had, I don't know what she hasn't had. I mean, this was really dark and a hard, tough time. And I remember we changed the things in her liver, so her liver got healthy again. And it was a lot of relationship stuff in the end. But then she called me and she said, "Okay, it's terrible. We've healed it." And I was like, "But you booked me. You paid me. I mean, we were, of course, that was my job, right?"
Yeah.
But then she said, "Yeah, but what am I going to have then if it's not the liver?"
Mm,
So, and this was interesting for me because she helped me a lot to detach from the problems of my client. Because I think before I was very, very into taking more responsibility than it's supposed to be good.
yeah.
Because of course, creator does it and
Yeah.
we're just giving it. And but sometimes you forget about that, I think, if you're really loving people and you're always trying to make it very good, and then you have to be patient to understand sometimes it's about something else.
Yeah.
So that's what I did a lot. I did a lot of instant healing stuff when I hurt myself. like little things.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say daily base because cancel, cancel, cancel. Nothing is happening all that often.
Cancel, cancel, cancel.
Cancel, cancel, cancel. Um, yeah, but also I think a lot, I learned a lot about trust. I manifested that house here last year. So a lot of manifesting, I think, works out, and a lot of seeing more miracles from day to day, training it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it's just, yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's daily based, right? And if people say, yeah, how could it be like that? You're in such a good mood, and how can you get over that? And I said, yeah, because I'm working on myself every day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not one day where I'm not, let's say, going up and asking, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I love, because yeah, that's probably, I mean, you're doing the same, right? When um, if something happens which makes me sad or upset, I had it now, yeah, sitting together with a friend. I said, yeah, I'm really angry about that. And then I thought, no, 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 I'm not angry. So what is it?
Yeah.
And then I went up and I said, ah, okay. I don't feel seen. That's the point. It's just I don't feel loved from that other person, but it has nothing to do with that other person. And then the phone rang 2 minutes later. So, I just took it off that person and everything was fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it opens
So,
up to something else.
and it opens up because then if you take the responsibility for it, and it's not that bad. I mean, it's yeah, sometimes we do stupid things, we think stupid things. Yeah, that's life. But we can always, let's say, correct it or cancel it or change it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something what I really love because I think we don't have to wait till it gets worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that makes life much more beautiful because the 3 hours you were angry before, you can have fun now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And before theta healing, you might not have known that you had the choice to be able to take your power back.
Yeah. And I think that the creating comes from or came from me from, I mean, I was always creating different things. And I think since I was that sick, I always thought, okay, this is not going to be my way. I'm going to make it in another way. But there was a lot of, let's say, revolution and a lot of fight energy in that to change things, right? If they are harsh, I'm going to change it. And the harder it gets, the easier it's for me to change things. So
Cancel that.
cancel, cancel, cancel. But that was how it, I mean, that's how it was, right? And now it's then the motivation changed. It's more a fun thing and it's more an easy thing. And for me, it feels like I've trained the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to see that situation from 10 perspectives after a minute, right? Before you had to fight for the opposite, then you have to overcorrect, then you have to go back and to fix it there. And then finally you got the balance after 1 week and then you can move on. So it's not that complicated anymore.
Yeah. I know sometimes you get into the, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 and then like you're just like, and the next minute you're like, what am I doing? Come on, use
Yeah.
your tools. Oh yeah, download unconditional love, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, well that was easy. Okay, I guess I'll carry on then.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, we have these days, I mean, I had one day like this 2 weeks ago and I thought, okay, okay, and again and again. And I was sitting here with my son, and I told him, and I forgot the key. And then I got there, and I was too late. And he said, Mom, but that's over now. Could you stop, please? Because you're just inviting more of it. So, I got my teachers around me already now.
Hmm. Hmm.
But of course, we have that. And sometimes maybe it's also important to have it
Yeah.
for a moment.
Hmm. Hmm. Because I noticed that too. Is it's like sometimes it's good just to slow down, and I know it has to do with like for me it has to do with the moon cycle, right? It's like the day before I'm like so much pressure and I don't know, I'm like eating everything in sight, like sugar and random crap. And then I'm like, why do I feel so like like get so much stuff done up till midnight or 2 in the morning, and the next
Yeah.
day I'm like, what is going on? It takes, I don't know, somehow I still forget that I get this every month. I don't know why, but I still do forget that.
Yeah, I know. And you're not alone. But I mean, and even these things that we go through and we just do it, I think the only problem is judging ourselves, right? I mean, then let's have the chocolate. Come on.
Yes, yes,
I
have the
think the
chocolate.
chocolate isn't as worse as telling yourself I shouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
These things.
It's like this is why when I went to Switzerland, I brought like 2 suitcases full of sugar back to my family.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not only sugar, it's also joy, it's a laugh, it's a smile, it's
Yeah.
a connection. That can be all sugar. Sugar can also be, I mean, it's chocolate, but yeah, it's not only, let's not minimize it on sugar.
Yes. And not minimize on sugar. Yes. It was like I could like my family grew up in Switzerland, right? And so when they get these goodies, it reminds them of when they were children and oh, we had these and we had those and oh, that cookie, I really like that cookie. And I remember having it with my grandma, and same like with dates, like dates were a big one. I brought back dates from Egypt and they're like, oh, they had dates only at Christmas time with their grandma. So it brought back like memories like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And feeling nurtured and feeling connected. Yeah.
Feeling loved. Yeah. So what what are some let's just double check here on the question. Would you like to lead us up into the Theta Healing meditation and see if there's
Yeah.
any downloads for our group?
Let's do that. So take a deep breath. And just feel yourself, your beautiful heart. And then go down deep, deep, deep into Mother Earth, and maybe a little bit deeper, and pull the energy up, up, up through the soles of your feet and higher through the legs.
Can you speak a little louder, please?
Yeah, going from chakra to chakra, up, 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 opening the chakras and aligning the chakras one after another. And then there's that beautiful ball of light above your head. And you can see what color that ball of light has today. And you step into that ball of light and it goes higher and higher, high into the universe, across stars, bright lights and dark lights and bright lights, and then into a golden light and higher, 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 into a jelly-like substance with all the colors of the rainbow, even more colors, and you might hear sounds, or you might see some geometry. And then there's that pink mist of compassion, which holds you soft and pushes you higher and higher into that white, iridescent, tingling light. And the ball dissolves, and you're all into that white, tingling light. And it fills your system, your whole being. It's the place where the perfect love is, the place of creation. And you're filled and surrounded with it. And let's say, Creator of all that is, show us the downloads and show us what I also get for everyone who's listening. Show us the idea or the spark of a wish we have today. And put that wish into that beautiful white light, into Creator's power. Okay, so let's download you. That you know how it feels to be loved and how it feels to be appreciated as you are and for who you are. Mm. And that you know how to be connected to Mother Earth, how to feel nurtured, and how to feel the gratitude for you being a spark of God.
Yes.
Let's download that you know how the Creator's perspective of creation, that you know how it feels to create.
Yes.
Mm. That you know how to connect with others in the highest and best way.
Yes.
That you know how to speak with yourself in a kind and open way and how to listen to yourself openly.
Yes.
Mm. Okay. And let's send unconditional love around the globe to everybody who feels misunderstood.
Yes.
And everybody feels how every one of us is able to give understanding, to give hope, to give openness, and still be safe and still be himself or herself.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Okay, so let me check. Oh, okay. So, and let's also download creators' perspective of perspectives, and that we know that it's easy to see things from a different angle,
Yes.
and that we know how to solve problems in a playful way and in a grateful way.
Yes.
Let's download trust,
Yes.
trust in ourselves and others, in our heritage, in our future,
Yes.
and gratitude in what we were, what we are, and what we're going to be.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's done, it's done, it's done. Okay. And take a deep breath and feel connected through the air in your lungs. And take a breath deep into your heart and release through your feet. And breathe into your throat chakra and release through your head and your shoulders. And let's send unconditional love into your whole system, into your aura, and into the space you're in, into the room, your house, your country.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. And if you're ready, open your eyes.
Thank you.
Good to relax from time to time.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is now. Now it's like the sun came out here, so it's nice.
Go.
Are there any offerings or anything that you'd like to share with us?
I mean, you can go on my webpage. It's iinspiration.works.
Mhm.
And I do some workshops, and what's going to come up in May, I think. I did one which is more foundation of your business.
Mhm.
what I do with everybody just to find out like what your values are and where you want to go. And the other one is that I do one workshop about the healing language
Yeah.
because we use a lot of words, right? Also, I mean, it's mostly for theta healers because we have to understand sometimes we don't have the right word. So it's very important to have different words for, let's say, one situation because we know sometimes it fits with a client, sometimes it's difficult.
Mhm.
And yeah, maybe you also experienced we touch with our words our clients, right? So we
Mhm.
invite them into that safe space of our communication, and mm, sometimes it's a little bit harsh, right? Or it's hard to find the right words to give a safe space for somebody.
Yeah.
And let's say to prepare that safe space with your language is, in my eyes, the most important thing for the other one to open up
Mhm.
and to really feel carried by your words and to feel held by your words. And also for the other person not to have to say it the right way, right?
Yeah.
Just to let it flow.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm speaking about in that workshop. And yeah, there are some different ones in German, of course, and two in English.
Mhm.
Of course, there are sessions anyway, but if there's a question coming up, or if some people would like to have a workshop about a special thing connecting healing or communication, I'm always open and willing,
Mhm.
and I'm always interested too, of course.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
if there's any inspiration for me about it, you're all welcome.
That's amazing. I just got Creator just poofed. Asked her about the horses. You work with horses, and I seen a picture on
Oh,
Messenger or wherever that you had a horse. And do you
yeah.
like group work with horses, or do you have like clients that come about to help their horse, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
I have more clients that come, and so I had a horse when I was a child, and it's a special story. It might be a bit long for now, so I just will, let's say, do a shortcut. I played a lot of hide and seek with my horse when I was small in the forest. So I was not only horse riding, I spent a lot of time there with horses.
Hmm.
And they have a special way to communicate, right? And you can read them very well where they come from. And they also have a heritage and they also have a story. And one of my clients, he's a Mustang. He's coming from the States. He was like rescued and brought here. And when I met him, it was pretty tough for him to talk with the horses from Germany. He didn't get what's going on, and it's still like this. So,
Yeah.
but what I mean, it's also the horse and the one who owns the horse, right? It's
Hmm.
weird anyway because we can't own anybody else. Not we can own an animal in my eyes,
Yeah.
but let's say we are responsible for the animal, then it's you also have to work on yourself.
Hmm.
And very often the animals carry what the people can't carry.
Hmm.
So it's very important to again, it's again about leadership too.
Yeah.
And to know that we are humans and that they are horses is also some very often a misunderstanding.
Hmm.
So that we think we are one herd and then, but they are with horses, right? I mean, that's their mate are horses. Yeah. So I love the energy and they are very, very, very clear and very, very kind and open.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, the last time I'm also singing for horses
Yeah.
sometimes, which is not normal for a lot of people. So I was in a huge stable after an operation. I visited one horse and I thought, maybe I do some Reiki and touch him. But after that operation, so many people touched him.
Hmm.
He didn't want to be touched. It was just like I could. put this energy out of his field. That's what I did, in that stable, not touching the horse, but just around like this and then singing a song. So you can imagine in a stable how people look when you're doing that. They had a lot of fun. And one woman came and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm singing."
Yeah.
So in the end, it was good energy. I think it went I asked Creator to put a lot of energy into that whole area. But it's more about realizing what's you and what's your animal, right? To find why are you connected? Why did you find each other? And when you were asking me, yeah, I also got in my shop, in my page, on my webpage, I got some affirmation cards also about you and your animal, or some wallpapers for the phone, you and your animal, and also about communication and self-care. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with them. And I think they're very special, but all animals are beautiful. And plants are also, I don't have to tell you,
Yeah.
but I also speak a lot with my plants. So it's quite normal to speak with everybody around me, no matter if it has fur or feathers or
Skin.
green skin or whatever. Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience, any words of wisdom or anything you'd like to leave for the end of this interview?
Okay, what would I like to leave? I would like to leave a big smile so that we should smile more often. I got a new idea in the morning. I'm trying something. Maybe somebody wants to try it too. In the morning when I wake up, it's a new project. From time to time, I'm trying new things. And when I wake up in the morning, I smile before I open my eyes. And I figured out it's a great way to begin the day.
That sounds great.
So I would encourage everybody to try things, to be creative, not only when you're painting. Be creative and be playful when you're going to the groceries, when you meet people, because we have so many gifts and it's just about sharing our beauty. And we don't have to do or to approach anything or there's a lot of things. Yeah, but I have to be this, I have to do this. I did this such a long time in my life waiting for that moment. Does not make sense at all. It's the here and now. And I think with a smile, you can move mountains every day with other people. So just spread that good energy. I think that's what I want to say. Spread the good energy.
Love it. I love it. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for your
much.
time.
Thank you so much. Very happy to see you here. And yeah, hope to see you in Canada. We will see. Bye. For example, I say beautiful. All the meanings of a word come up. And we will decide for one meaning.
Okay.
But you don't know what's my beautiful, and I don't know what's your beautiful.
Okay.
So it's important to be a little bit more precise. What's the beauty, right?
What's the beauty of this?
Yeah, but I think it's a great example.